Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the MLG America's Minor. Train is the battlegrounds. WinOut and OpTic Gaming are going to be facing off here in this best of one to see who's going to carry on in the uppers and who's going to get knocked down into the lowers. This is Group B action. Mega Man and Sprawl going to be bringing it to you guys. How you feeling, brother?
I am so excited to get this started again. We got WinOut, a team that we know quite a bit about them, but to see them come up to this land, there's a lot of questions that are going to be answered in this first match as Mixwell able to find Yell early, and he follows it up.
Yeah, it takes down Bit there. Nicely done. Nafly on the board. Destiny is down and out, and this is a great-looking round to start things off for OpTic. WinOut yet to even do serious damage, really, to anybody. Nafly is down pretty low. Knack does find Rush in the long run, but that bomb ticking on the outside bomb site, and this is kind of what James was talking about on the analyst desk. Go outside, it seems to be the more favorable area there, but Mixwell with a quad in the pistol round, shutting it down, and OpTic on the board early.
Yeah, that's so huge for OpTic to pick up the pistol round. They talked about it on the desk, how difficult it is on the T side on Train, and to get that pistol round, it's so valuable to start off the map this way, and now they got to follow it up. They're facing a force buy. Yell, we've heard all about his opping. We'll see what we can get done with a scout here.
Yeah, and I was going to point that out as well. I'm really interested to see how he handles the scoped rifles and things of that nature, but one of the other talking points, too, was second round buys on CT side. A little bit risky, a little bit dangerous as well, but you see it happen a lot of the times, and sometimes, especially with Yell, the necessity for that AWP going forward into the gun rounds, the economy's not going to be so stable unless they do manage to steal a round away. And there you go. He does get early damage out on the Rush, drops him to 29, but outside control is pretty much under wraps here. Nice shot there from PKL. Is going to be able to find one on the Mixwell, but the trades are good, and it's in favor of OpTic right now as Naf goes ham with that UMP.
All right, so Destiny with one, but he's going to be flanked here by Stan. Knack all alone. And he will fall as well. So OpTic up 2-0, and they're going to lose two members there, but against a force buy, not the end of the world. And yeah, this is definitely going to affect, of course, that first rifle round on the WinOut side. So we'll see how if they can bounce back from this. But that's huge. If you're OpTic, again, you got through that force buy. Now moving into that first rifle round, you even have a little bit more to work with in that the other team has less to work with, if you follow me. So 2-0, moving into this one, it is just straight USPs across the board for WinOut.
Yeah, Nafly's sitting up over $4,000 still on the UMP, so he's on the money farm. And you can see this is the smart play from WinOut, not investing into anything into this round. And they actually are getting at least a little bit of damage out here. Daps is low, but the round is over in the blink of an eye. Nafly does fall, but he does manage to pick up one kill, so the extra $600 with the UMP. Plenty of money now for the CT side. It's going to be a relatively healthy buy here. It's going to be a little bit in the lacking department when it comes to nades, but you can see they're doing the intelligent thing and not picking up head armor on most of their players. The only thing that's going to be the X factor into this is the fact that Daps is actually still on a MAC-10, and he could shred some domes going forward here and put a lot of money in the bank for the terror side of OpTic. Yeah,
that'd be super sick. Daps can find anything there. It would be fantastic for him. Like it stated, we've got Yell with that op, but he will not have head armor. Bit will get aggressive into Ivy here. He's got a team at Yell peering down. A smoke is currently holding the angle. OpTic just going to spread out, and it looks like slow plate. They actually boost up and over, and Mixwell able to find Yell. So that op duel, we're going to see a storyline here, and well, it looks like Mixwell getting the better end of the start here.
Yeah, that's a big opening pick. Bit actually swapping out the M4 to pick up the AWP to try to get a little bit better range on the outside train yard right now, but that was a beautiful usage of the boost. Get right up over top of the smoke and find the avenue down Ivy to find that pick, and Bit goes down as well. Mixwell, he's come to play. Rush coming out through the smoke on ladder room is going to be able to open things up as well, and it's going to be all on PKL, and he's going to go down as well. So Knack, your last man standing inside train yard, not going to find anything over there, and this is another round on the board for OpTic. And not only that, but they keep 5 alive, and you're just going to continue to see that money ramp up because I think Rush, since round 2, has been on this Galil, so he hasn't had to buy anything.
Yeah, and Daps, again, we pointed out, he had a MAC-10, now he's got an M4 AUNS, right? So
free upgrades.
That is fantastic work. Knack, if he could get a little bit of economic damage in here, would be beneficial, but again, surviving with 4, that's fantastic for OpTic as they will go 4-0 up on the T side. And just to go back to what they said on the desk, optimal T side could be 6 rounds. You're 2 away, and we're on round 5.
Yeah, and look at Mixwell right now, 8-2-1. 4 rounds in.
That's pretty damn good.
Well, they were talking on the analyst desk, is Mixwell going to have to carry? And the thing is it's only 4 rounds in. You've got 3 kills on Rush. You've got 4 on Nafly. You've got 2 kills on Daps. Yeah, Rush has got 3. Stanislaw with 3. Stanislaw yet to die as well, but 8 kills and 1 death on the board there for Mixwell. That's a huge opening for him. Make it 9 now as he takes down Knack. Daps getting in on the action. Nafly does go down, but Daps is going to double up, and that's going to leave it all on just Yell outside as that MAC-10 shreds Bit. And Yell might be able to find the back one. That's a nice little find there. Drops Mixwell. They will recover the AWP, so it's not going to be too big of a deal. And there you go. They finally figured it out. Rush was the one with the MAC-10. Drop your MAC-10, man. Get the AWP. Look at the money, though, for the terrorist side already.
Yeah,
Stacks.
so even if WinOut, they take a round, again, there's so much money on that T side that they have absolutely everything they need to work the T side that's been working for them.
3 rounds, essentially.
And again, credit to Mixwell for having those openers. On the first rifle round, gets the boost shot, goes back to T mid, finds another pit. Like, the guy's he's looking incredible. And this is the kind of map where you need that standout performance from your Opper. So Yell, he's going to get another chance here, and well, it looks like OpTic, they're changing things up a little bit. No Ivy presence on this round here as they'll push towards the Brown Halls. Mixwell getting aggressive towards B, and Knack.
He's solo B. If Knack goes down.
Oh, okay. He almost hits a shot there, but not going to be so. And yeah, like you had stated, Knack playing alone, crucial that he doesn't go down.
Yeah, and see, that actually forced the rotate of PKL back towards inside. Oh, my God,
what a
Mixwell.
sick angle.
See, and this is the thing. This is why Mixwell is going to be so effective on this map, is because he's so mobile with the AWP. He does go down inside, but he was essentially there for just a one-for-one trade. And you can see Rush actually gets the refrag. They haven't pushed the bomb in just yet. Stanislaw is still up in the box talls, and they're just going to let Rush try to clear things out here. They've rotated every CT in. Now they do bring the bomb inside, but honestly, they could have rotated back down through ladder and gotten a free outside plant just based off of the fact that they pulled the rotation so hard. Destiny does answer back, though, does take down Rush, so it's evened up onto a 3v3. And there you go, Daps onto Bit. So back and forth still, and this is still going to be a very expensive round for the CT side if they win it.
Yeah, Yell now all alone without a kit. He's going to smoke towards the bomb, but considering the post plant from OpTic going to be so difficult, he does pick up a kit on the way, so he will stick it. Not stick it, he actually baits out Daps. It's now Naf alone, and it looks like, again, the stick is here. Naf eventually takes him down, though. Whew. A little worried for a moment, but that's going to be another round going the way of OpTic. And again, 6-0. They've already kind of hit that score line that they were talking about on the desk.
Yeah, and that's the money line right there. Knack actually, okay, they're forcing up here. Knack, I expect to get aggressive on inner lower ramp with the auto shotgun, get in their face, try to get a little cheddar built up from that. But this is pretty much a desperation buy right now from WinOut. They need to start getting rounds on the board, and that's the biggest part, is that their economy is in shambles. I mean, Bit is 0-0-6 right now. Yell, this guy who's supposed to be this impact fragger, this Alper extraordinaire, is sitting at 2-0-6. 2 kills for PKL and Knack as well, and Destiny's got 5, but there you go. The opening goes in. Knack goes down. He was the auto shotgun, but he did have support from PKL, so they do get the trade. But again, outside, it's like when they get a pick inner, somebody gets a refrag outside, and then it just completely swaps the momentum around, and it keeps the man advantage in the favor of OpTic. And there you saw coming out through ladder room, and Yell goes down outside. Nice shot there from Bit, though, to even things back up, and he gets an off out of it.
We'll see if we can get anything done. And we stand on to Destiny, and Naf's going to follow it up. Only Bit in a 1v3, and he's going to fall. So OpTic, they continue the dominance. And my question is, when do you call a timeout on WinOut side? Granted, we're early in the half, but it's a side where you need to put up numbers. This is not a forgiving map, in that if you don't have anything going on the CT side, if you allow OpTic to just run away with the T side, they're going to have at least they're going to have a decent CT side. There's no doubt. OpTic, they've shown us that before. So WinOut, again, when does that come in? And is it the right decision to bring it in the first half when you need to have those crucial CT rounds?
Oh, absolutely. I would have liked to have seen them take a timeout into this round. I would have liked to see the timeout before the last gun round or force buy that they just had. I assume that if they lose this, which, I mean, it's a force up here, they've got 1 smoke to work with. They did buy armor and upgraded pistols, but if they don't win this round, going into the next round, they have to take the timeout and talk about things, because whatever their setup is on the outside train yard, it's getting exploited, because most of the time they've been playing solo inside with Knack, and he hasn't really gotten challenged. It was the one round where Mixwell hit that ripper on him, took him down, and then they eventually took inside control. But to start the rounds off, they're taking this heavy outside presence. You can see 2 in ladder room. Mixwell actually hitting a nice leg shot there on the jumping player Bit. But they're taking this T-Con, Ivy, ladder room control to start the rounds, and Knack doesn't really get pressured inside. So what they need to do is they need to figure out, do we just need to go early aggression outside, try to get up on T-Con, push towards the train lanes, see if we can't find the opening pick that way, or what it is. But Stanislaw, he's tapping all his cares away right now. That's 2 for him so far this round.
Yeah, looking good. As again, upgraded pistol armor by here. Knack just can't find the shot he's looking for, and now it's only Yell in a 1v5. And it's looking very bleak at this point, as we will spot out Mixwell, drops him. Can't get anything done with the rest of his CZ75 clip, though, and that will be that. So 8-0. Again,
there it
yeah,
is.
okay, here we go.
Yep.
And that's completely expected. You can't allow even 8-0 is incredible. To come back from that, you need those 7 rounds, and that to get those 7 in a row when you already had 8 rounds that didn't go your way, when you had some equipment to work, like it's not like they didn't have the equipment. The first gun round, you could say that,
right?
But then you get the second gun round where they really do have everything that they need. It just doesn't pan out for them.
Yeah, and that's the big part about this. I mean, you can already see, I mean, granted, the camera's not in game, but I've got an overlay up over on my PC right now, and they've already bought up an M4, put the AWP back into Yell's hands, and this is where it gets a little bit even trickier for them because Yell, I mean, with them down 8-0, they don't have a lot of money still, even with the money bonus on the CT side because the rifles are so expensive. The AWP is going to be just body armor. He doesn't even have money to go for any nades or anything like that. Destiny picks up an M4 head armor. He's got plenty of nades and everything like that. So the rest of it's going to be a pretty well-rounded buyout from them. But, I mean, again, Yell, he's supposed to be this guy that's coming in with the AWP, and right now he's sitting on 3 kills. So that's a really tough spot. Bits only got 1 kill right now, so they're struggling here. But this timeout, hopefully they can calm things down, calm the nerves and everything like that, get their heads back into the game and get their feet under them, start picking up a couple of rounds because once they get onto the T side, it's going to be very tough for them because OpTic should have a strong CT, especially with Mixwell 10-5 right now. Nafly's right behind him at 9-2, and Stanislaw, he's only died once. He's 8-1.
Yeah, living the dream. And I think the scary part as well is that even if WinOut, say for example, they come off this pause, they have the brilliant strategy that really kind of counters what they've been seeing. OpTic hasn't really had to provide anything outside of their play that you were highlighting. So all of a sudden, okay, you adapted to the one round that got it to you, but then if you lose the one thereafter, if you can't read that one properly, well, guess what? You're back in that economic vortex where you just really can't get a half going for yourself. So a lot needs to go right for WinOut at this point. They need almost some fortunate stuff to fall into place. And I was excited coming into this, and I'm a little disappointed to see WinOut yet with or not without a round. So
yeah, and that's the scariest part about it because I mean they've got that money bonus going right now, and if they do win a round and then drop it, that's that hard reset, and you could see that they could be in double save territory because everybody bought down right now for the WinOut side. You've got $0 on Yell, 50, 50, 50 for PKL, Bit, and Destiny, and then Knack has $200. So a reset after a round win, especially if it comes down to like 1 or 2 players alive on the CT side, is going to crush their money for the rest of this half, and then it's just going to be a complete blowout from that point forward. So hopefully they can start stringing some rounds together here. We are back into the action. 8-0 for OpTic Gaming, a tremendous terrorist side. This is shades of their T side when they played against Astralis just the other day.
There you go.
Scary.
Definitely. We'll see WinOut with the double op setup, and maybe that for a lot of teams, once they're able to bring that in, exactly, that could be it. It's something that is so expensive, though, like you had highlighted. They got very little behind this, so and no utility at this point other than a flash and HE grenade. So already Bit taking a leg shot, and not a good start. That being said, OpTic, they've got no Ivy presence. They're working towards T-Con, a little bit towards ladder as well, but still with a minute to play with.
I want to see WinOut get aggressive one of these rounds. It seems like they're playing scared. I mean, I know that they're down 8-0 right now, but you know, one of the crazy things to do is when you've got like a double up setup or even just a single up setup is push Yell down on Ivy, flash smoke, get him into a forward position to try to shut things down. But now you see the execute coming on outside. PKL is at least going to be able to find the opener, but it's traded again, and Nafly is going to find that pick. Destiny does answer back onto Mixwell, but the bomb is going to get planted, and this time it's actually up on top of the train. It's not actually in front of the train like a normal default plant, so it's going to be even a little bit trickier here. Oh, but Yell comes in. That's, I think, the first knife kill that we've seen so far in the tournament. So he's going to get dirty, and now it's down to Rush. He's playing over here by ladder room. He's got one player staring him down in the face. He's going to take that peek and a long spray. But Destiny is going to be able to take that down and win out with a little bit of a roar of vigor. Going to get their first round on the board, and 4 alive. That's really not only the round win, but the fact that they kept 4 players alive. That's the second most important part about that round.
Yeah, certainly. So now they got to follow it up, of course. And we talked about it.
I think he probably spit on his monitor.
Yeah, it must have been. Or some magic going on here. I really don't know. Conjuring something. Anyhow, WinOut, again, they need to follow it up. So, yeah, it's great they got that one round. We could look at their money, though, considering all the utility being rebought and such. For surviving with 4, they don't have an incredible amount to work with, really. So moving into this next round, OpTic, on the other hand, they have everything. So huge round to follow it up, WinOut. They need to string rounds together, and 7 on this half is still going to be difficult for them.
Yeah, and I really think that it was, I think Destiny actually dropped Knack, who I think it was that died that last round. So he's going to be down the low bank right now. But they do at least have enough at this point where if they lose this round, they should be able to force behind it and maybe pick something else up. But the big thing, again, is just Mixwell has been so crucial with this AWP throughout. And Nafly, again, stepping up. I mean, we talked about him during the Astralis game at ESL Pro League, and he was doing a sensational job there. That shoulder peek, I don't think actually got the information that – I don't think he peeked out wide enough to see Bit. Maybe he did. I don't know. It's so fickle sometimes in this game to see. His head doesn't actually go around the corner, but on his screen he can actually see around that corner. So it looks like he did spot him. So it's not going to be this aggressive peek or anything. The smoke comes out onto that side. And now he's going to take this other angle and see if he can find anything. Molotov to follow up. That's well placed, especially since Bit was so low. And Rush is going to capitalize. Destiny does trade, so it's going to stay on a 1-for-1 so far.
There we go, 45 seconds for OpTic, and they're going to lose Stanislaw, but Daps able to trade back, so 3-on-3. And the bomb is not in
it's dropped
in their hands right now on the OpTic side, but it looks like they're fragging out Knack. Able to take down Daps towards the old bomb area, but now in a 1v2. The bomb goes down. It's going to be Naf and Mixwell to try and keep this round alive. Again, Knack, if he loses a situation, their economy cannot handle this. This is a must-win scenario, and Knack, he's got to find the clutch. He does have a smoke, he's got a kit, but not comfortable to completely just dive on it just yet. Would love to find a frag. He spots out the player as he drops the grenade, but Naf able to take him down before he can grab his rifle back out again. 9 rounds for OpTic, and they will reset the economy there of the WinOut side. And it wouldn't surprise me at all to see a force buy for the WinOut side because 9-1, like, this is brutal.
Yeah, and I mean, at this point, they need to get rounds. And there it is, UMP for PKL. Let me take a look at this knife kill again. That was beautifully done. He actually legged Stanislaw, which killed his momentum while he was trying to get in there, and then he jumped over top of the spray. So it was actually a culmination of a couple of different things. But Mixwell, just filthy. Takes down Destiny. That's going to be the early pick going out here towards the OpTic side. And again, WinOut's just going to be playing from the back foot for the rest of this round, a man down. And here's the switch. The hit's coming towards the inside train yard. And it's a decent read right now for WinOut. They've actually snuck one player into Z. They've pushed one player down on the sidewalk. And it's going to have to be Knack with a big spray, but he's not going to be able to make it happen. And that smoke on sidewalk is actually going to keep that player back, PKL. But Bit with a nice headshot on the Naf. No bomb plan. Oh, Daps, though, gets the spin and takes down PKL. So now they've at least got a little bit more control of this bomb site as Stanislaw tries to plant that.
Here we go. 2-on-3. WinOut desperately need rounds, and to be critical to pick up, but not looking good here as Yell is playing very passive at this moment. He's working off of a Bit here who's trying to find close pick, but not going to be the case now. Yell in a 1v3, and looks like he may just attempt to retreat. Stanislaw putting him down in the process, and another round double digits for OpTic on the T side of Train. Not something you see every day.
Yeah, no, this is a really scary half. And there's, again, I mean, they went for the force buy end of that round. It didn't work for them. They only got a couple of picks. I think they only managed to take down 2 players. So, I mean, it's just, the money on the OpTic side, they're good for the rest of the half. That's not a problem. Mixwell's on 12,000. You've got 8,000 plus on 2 of the players, 7,000 plus on the rest. So money is not an issue here for OpTic at all. Flashbang goes out over the top of mid. That's going to give Mixwell a little bit of room to work. I don't think he spotted PKL on the top of the train. And there you go. He's going to hit the flick anyway. Takes him down. And then the MP7 doing work over here towards Ivy. And again, there you go. Mixwell finds 2 in the round. Nafly finds 2 in the round. They're having a little bit of a frag race right now. Nafly at 14-4 and Mixwell at 14-6. Stanislaw still, he's only died 3 times, so just no kills going the way of WinOut right now. And I mean, you can see that from their kill totals. 9 is their top fragger at Destiny, Bit's down at 3. So quite the spread going on there, but none of them really stepping up to the plate 12 rounds in.
And I'm wondering, again, getting a little ahead of myself here, if OpTic, Naf and Mixwell, they will be able to continue this dominant performance. It's difficult to say in a matchup like this because we haven't seen too much of WinOut in this specific scenario. But we'll see if they can continue it. Definitely looking good to start off this best of 1. And, well, 1-for-1 we go. Destiny and Naf going to be on the bench as OpTic get the bomb down. Daps in charge of that. Now 4-on-4.
We didn't see that on camera, but I was watching it on the other monitor. And Mixwell actually went for a jump and strafed off the ladder and landed on his teammate and actually didn't take any fall damage jumping down. So he's going to continue on at 76 HP. But this terrorist side from OpTic is just, it's scary. It's absolutely terrifying right now. And Mixwell is going to get in on it again, and Stanislaw as well. Mixwell now taking the lead over Nafly as far as the frags are concerned, up to 16 now. But just a dominant half right here from OpTic. And what can you say? I mean, went out there, they're struggling. And at this point, I mean, it's OpTic's game to lose. I mean, it was pretty much their game to lose when they were up to 6 rounds on T side.
Most definitely, and now they're double that. So 12-1 here as we see a pretty crummy buy coming out for the win outside. We've got a Mag 7 on Knack, and looks like they might go for something aggressive. Last time they went for this, Knack with that auto shotgun. They were able to trade, but not exactly favorably, as Yell with the CZ75 can't find anything tapping away, and now it will be the flank. Rush is all over it, though, and so difficult to drop from this ladder and actually get anything done, and that'll equate to a quad kill for Rush.
Yeah, that's not really the aggression that I was talking about earlier that I wanted to see from WinOut.
No, that was kind of like,
let's just feeble buy.
Let's just go.
Yeah, that was like, let's get in their face and see if we can upgrade some of our guns going forward. Again, it's going to be another broken buy here for WinOut. No, Bit doesn't even have armor behind this Mag 7. Not that, I mean, you get a close angle on ladder room or something like that if you can get there fast enough. He does have a decent spawn for it, but the big thing is Mixwell has just been coming out through connector. He's already out by Blue Train, so this is going to be scary, especially if PKL goes for this peak. Rush finds Bit in ladder room, so that's the Mag 7 down. And again, I mean, this is just not off to a good start. And there it is. Mixwell finds PKL. He does get dinked down to 7 HP, but again, 2 for 1 to start things off. The fire does burn Destiny as he trades back 2, but it's still a man advantage going the way of the terrorist side, now evened up by Yell and taken back by Yell. So a much-needed second round. There it is. So finally, at least WinOut's able to get 2 rounds on the board before all said and done in the half, but man, that's a tremendous hill to climb going forward.
Yeah, to call it a hill even, that is like
Mountain?
just like it's a cliff. Like
Everest?
you're just like, yeah, like you've got no climbing gear and you have to do like the steep cliff and you drop and die and you've never.
Sylvester's
there's
still
no
on
mistakes,
cliffhanger?
right? Exactly.
Booyah.
Exactly. So yeah, it's very difficult to see. You would have to think that WinOut, the only way they bring it back is taking it round by round.
Well,
and that's a sign of a true kind of elite team, but at the same time, it's so much to ask for their first map here against a team that, again, I don't know how much confidence. I know they've been scrimming at the Clutch Arena. They've spent some time, and I've been informed that they've been scrimming some top teams and doing fairly well. They're definitely holding their own. So this is definitely not what I expected to see, but if they come back, like I stated, it's got to be round for round.
Yeah, and that's the big thing, like, I've talked about this in the past, especially like the last episode of Pop Flash that I was on with Jack Westerman, which was the biggest part about Brazilian CS is even though they're down, they're never out.
Yeah.
And they're just so good at grinding out rounds to continue to get themselves back into the game. So, I mean, 13-2, that's a lot of grinding that they have to do to get back into this one, especially now that they're going over onto the terrorist side of trains. So at this point, I'm kind of counting them out, but I've been surprised by some comebacks that the Brazilian side has been able to do in the past with Tempo Storm and Luminosity just grinding out these deficits and being able to bring things back. If OpTic loses this one, it would go down as one of the bigger chokes that we've seen in CSGO. Other ones to think about, I know, I'm sorry, GB James, but Liquid, when they played at Pro League against NIP, where they were up at 14-2 and then ended up losing in double overtime 22-18. And then, of course, at the major against LG. So this one's borderline as bad as that if they were to drop this one at a 13-2 scoreline.
Yeah, definitely. Hard to see it happening. We're going to be moving into the second pistol round here. If you guys are just joining us, OpTic, again, very dominant on their T side, looking to move forward. And this pistol round would basically secure it in my eyes. But we'll see WinOut, again, taking it round for round. They've got, looks to be a B-side setup potentially. They've got a smoke and 2 flashes as they're going to send that smoke out towards the lower ramp. Not a bad nade there. And actually, Daps finds the head of Yell as they try and push out on the bomb site.
Yeah, but the big thing right now is that Bit is actually got the bomb. He was at the inner lower ramp, but he decides to fall back, and they're going to just push Destiny in here to try to clear this out. He's going to eat a rogue nade and goes down as well. But the rotation came very strong and stern in towards that inside train yard, and that's allowed WinOut to get outside. So even though it's a 5-on-3, they do have the bomb down, so that's going to give them money if they go for a second round force buy or save it and go for a 14 or they'd have to be on tie point at that or game match point. But this is a huge round right now. Natfly and Rush shutting things down. It's a 4-on-1 from E-Box, and PKL can't get it done. It's going to be Stanislaw 14-2, and just OpTic Gaming dominant throughout this one right now, and you can hear them. I don't know what that really was. It sounded like a whale.
I don't know.
In the
Something like
ocean.
that. Grunting is in very bad condition. I'm not sure. But
Yeah.
OpTic, we'll see if they can close out here as WinOut. Strategy, not bad. And they talked about it on the desk. Going B on pistol, probably not the best idea. They fake towards it. They go A. And on a 3-on-5, I don't blame them for trying to find some picks as the players are trying to retake in. You can't really wait for them to just take 2-on-1s against you and try and isolate you. but it's just not going to work out. Knack with the only frag, WinOut. They will force buy, obviously, and it's going to be Tech 9s across the board. Knack with a deagle.
Yeah, this is, I mean, this is all their eggs in one basket, essentially, at this point. And with Daps playing close on the inner lower ramp, he drops the smoke out as well, so that's going to hold him back even longer. They did spam a little Tech 9 action over in that area as well, so it's also going to just alert them that, you know, there's at least one person in the box halls, maybe multiple. Flashbang or smoke goes out here on the sidewalk, so that's going to also alert Daps. He's just going to get a bird's eye view here up on top of the ladder and allow his teammate, the number 8 man in the back of the site, I believe that, yeah, that's Stanislaw, to just watch inner upper. So if they get aggressive there, he's covered, and he should be able to mow them down if they come in towards this inner lower, especially with the P90 in hand. So, I mean, OpTic, they're just reading the game really, really well right now. It's not that WinOut's doing anything exemplary, but this positioning with this P90, yeah, that's just going to be a mow down, and Stanislaw actually catching 2 as well, so yeah, it's not the best optimal situation for WinOut. Not
at all. As PKL 1v4 drops a smoke towards the lower ramp, flash over. Not a bad one, but so much to spam his direction, and eventually it'll be Stanislaw with the hat trick. Gets 3 with the UMP. And it's one of the weapons that I like to see on a round like that, considering you can imagine they're going to be on Tech 9 armor. It's got pretty good armor penetration. Beautiful stuff. P90 doing good work as well, and now it's 1 round away for OpTic.
Yeah, this is a landslide right here. I mean, this is even worse than when TSM kind of got beat up a little bit earlier by Tempo Storm. So, I mean, big terrorist side half from OpTic, 13-2 at the half. They pick up pistol round. They're on the verge of closing this out, and this should not be much of a problem for them because these anti-ecos are these force buys. And here's that aggression that I was telling you about a couple of rounds ago that I wanted to see done on WinOut. Now, Bit annihilates Mixwell. So that's always nice, and they do get a FAMAS out of this, so it's a 1-for-1 trade, but I wanted to see that information gathering, see who's playing outside of TCon, how many players they've got geared up there. Then that'll allow you to get a little bit aggressive on inside if you so desire. So a little bit back and forth on that one, but again, this fight between Yell and Daps here by CT Spawn, and Yell does eventually fall. This is just pretty much cleanup duty right now, and OpTic should be able to close this out. Knack, your last man standing. He's got 54 HP and a deagle and a dream, but that dream is now dead. 16-2, OpTic Gaming take it in convincing fashion. Ouch.
Yeah, hard to really find silver linings for WinOut there, other than you made it through your first match, and, well, it's hard to, again, pull a lot from it, but maybe moving forward, just in that they had that match, they could look at what went wrong and maybe change things. Again, they're not out of this.
No,
but that's definitely unfortunate that they couldn't find at least a little bit more confidence off of that first map. Not even necessarily that they take it, but some damage control. Losing at that scoreline is never a good feeling.
And not only that, but I mean, let's not take anything away from OpTic Gaming on that one at all. They played sensationally on their terrorist side. Their trading was probably the strongest part about it. It wasn't necessarily that their strats were just exemplary. I mean, obviously they've been practicing their smoke strats on the outside train yard. They know when to switch things up and go towards inside. But one of the biggest parts about that was just their ability to trade on that outside train yard that was so effective going forward, where, you know, maybe the CTs got that opening pick, but they were getting at least 1, maybe 2 kills in return on the OpTic side, which was just shutting out these rounds. And once you kill 2 or 3 people on the outside train yard, it's just so hard to retake that outer yard because there's so many angles that the terrorists can hide in. You know, down on Ivy, by Sandwich, E-Box, ladder room, push down and get up into heaven. So many different spots that they can get into with proper post-plant positioning. So, and also in the post-plants, OpTic not over-peaking that 2v1 against Knack there towards the end of the first half. They played that really, really well. Mixwell playing over by Old Hell, and then up on the bomb train was where Nafly was. So kudos to OpTic. They looked really good in that map.
Yeah, definitely. So other than that, I would just say Mixwell, finding those op picks, those entries in the first rifle rounds just looked super solid. But yeah, that's about all I got for you.
Yeah, so with that being said, guys, we're going to take a quick commercial break. Our next matchup that's coming up here is going to be a good one. I think this is probably going to be the highest anticipated match of the day between WinterFox and Selfless to see whether the young guns of Selfless can take on the seasoned veterans of WinterFox. We'll be back in a few minutes, guys. Don't go anywhere.